studio with Paul, Jalen, and Stan. I'm Michelle. Pacers up 2. Nice little run there, topping off the first half. And Jalen, I think we all argue that we just want to play the Miles Turner dunk for the whole halftime show.
That's it. Absolutely. Right? 49 states is basketball, but this is Indiana, Miles.
Just roll it on.
Play the sweet jazz music on Gordon Hayward.
Ooh.
Oh. You got to check yourself before you wreck yourself, Gordon.
And that's on an Indiana native.
Oh, my goodness. Gonna have to do the walk of shame after that one, B.
Yeah, that's that argument. Wow. Yeah. Pacers, though, what are they doing?
Well, that's how they got back in the game in the second quarter. They just started attacking the rim. Not that violently every time, but they did attack the rim. But look, the Pacers have been here 3 out of the 4 games. They've had the lead at the half. They've averaged 35 points in the second half going into the night. They're going to have to change this around and keep doing stuff like this and getting to the basket. And let's see it again.
Do it over and over again. Ooh. And in all fairness, though, Gordon Hayward, it makes him look like he's obviously the victim in that one moment, but it's not all bad.
I think he's a big key for them. Obviously, the Celtics have to stop turning the ball over. Gordon has 3 himself, but he has to continue to be aggressive. I really believe that he's going to be the X factor for the Celtics now and throughout the playoffs. If these guys want a shot at getting to the championship, you know what Kyrie Irving's going to bring every night. They have a rock-solid Al Horford. Tatum's been stepping up, but Gordon Hayward is going to be a major key for them.
And in the next round, your Celtics got to take care of the basketball. 10 turnovers at the half, only 9 assists.
Yeah, no question. I mean, that you maybe get away with that and stay in the game against the team without their leading scorer. They turn it over and let Giannis get out in transition. They're going to pay dearly.
Stan, you dropped a little nugget as we were coming out of the break. The Pacers have led what now?
This is their 3rd time in 4 games they've led at the half.
So that's the Debbie Downer stat of the first half that we wanted to make sure we got out there.
And they haven't been able to score in the second half, so we'll see if they can generate something today. And Brad Stevens, we heard him in the timeout talking to the Celtics about packing the paint and taking things away. I think you'll see a better effort to keep the ball out of the paint here in the second half.
I don't want to do this to Indiana. I cannot do this.
Maybe.
Well, hand it to me. My Filipino friends. Shout out to Alvin. I have second special. He brought it to me. This is a tradition like the Masters. Like no other. I'm not doing
Whenever a player records a triple-double throughout the playoffs, American Express card members will get 32% off at NBAstore.com. That's the following day. You can always learn more at NBAstore.com/Amex32. Now, before Game 3, that man said, "I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am." And then he dropped 38, and it was a big win. What will he do in Game 4? That's our second game of our doubleheader. Brooklyn GM Sean Marks has been suspended by the league, 1 game without pay, fined $25 grand. He entered the referee's locker room yesterday after the loss to Philly. Woj reporting he was irate over Embiid's flagrant fouls. And now he wants to inspire the team.
Kiwi doing a terrific job with the Nets.
He certainly is, and it's great to see. And the emotion goes up in the playoffs for everyone.
Speaking of going up, Coach,
here we go again.
On a loop.
Take your time,
This presentation of the NBA playoffs first round, presented by Mountain Dew, will continue after this message and a word from our ABC.
And welcome into our LA NBA studio with Paul, Jalen, and Stan. I'm Michelle. Warriors up at the half. And Klay Thompson, when he wants to show up, he shows up.
Absolutely. This guy can get going with the best of them that we've seen in the history of this game. And it creates a level of enthusiasm for the Golden State Warriors because they have a guy that they can feature. And so once he starts hitting shots off the dribble, all of a sudden, that's a heat check right there. The one leg going into the post. I like the diversity of his attack. We know he can knock down the threes, but to see him getting it in other areas, it's tough for the defense.
Well, he started out getting stuff close to the basket where he could, he got good makeable shots, and that really got him going because he's been a little slow in the series, but now, obviously not.
As far as the Clippers, the rookies don't seem to be fazed by the moment at all.
Yeah, the rookies are really showing out, and the good thing about the Clippers making the playoffs after the trade, it gives their young core a chance to develop, and people don't understand how big that is. When you can get a rookie like this in a playoff moment playing against the Golden State Warriors, moving forward as you build your team, this is valuable experience, and it's good for Alexander to come out here along with Robinson to get these type of minutes, because if they can put something together next year, get a key free agent, possibly 2, and these guys have this type of experience, it can mean so much for them moving forward. and trying to get a championship in the future.
I totally agree with you. And the same for the Nets. Like, two teams that outplayed expectations, both have 2 maximum spots available this offseason. It'd be interesting to see who they're able to land, if anyone.
I've said this a million times, it's going to be a great offseason. There is no offseason. Whatever you want to call that space between now and the first game of the next season. Whenever a player records a triple-double throughout the playoffs, American Express card members will get 32% off at NBAstore.com. That's the following day. You can learn more at NBAstore.com/AMX32. Celtics, Paul's team, had a chance to be the first team to advance in these playoffs. Coming up, we'll show you why it's finally time to bring back the Wallies. Jalen.
No, we need to bring back.
Here's game 4. Victor Oladipo in the building. Try to bring up the spirit. Under 3 to go. Base down 5.
Oh, here we go.
He said, but before I go home, I'm going to leave y'all with this.
I mean, that is a moment that will be remembered for quite some time. Under 5 to go. Celtics up 4. Hayward's not phased at all by that earlier piece of footage.
He's going to have to be a big piece of what they do moving forward if they want to get past the Bucks.
Something's going to have to happen. By the way, last sweep for the Celtics, 2011, and that happens to be your team against Melo's Knicks. But more importantly, Jalen, what does it mean?
I hate to do this to my Indiana Pacers, bringing out the Wallies, the Thing, Dumbo. This is the coconut version, Coach.
There you go.
This is the one you use for outdoors, too, Beads. Like doing the sidewalk.
I've still got to give credit to the Pacers, though.
No doubt.
And Nate McMillan, they hung in there this year. They were competitive in the series the whole way through. Boston was just too much at the end of the game.
I boycott these proceedings. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it.
Bye-bye,
Second half
Indiana.
coming
I'm
back.
boycotting this.
Why'd you wear Indiana colors?
I did. I'm
This
not
presentation of the NBA playoffs first round, presented by Mountain Dew, will continue after this message and a word from our...
Throws it down. Beverly getting into Durant's face. Barks at him. Durant. They're both out. They've both been just thrown out of the game.
Those dudes play with a different type of grit. For me, I know that coming into the series, so I thought it was fun tonight.
Clippers went down 31 in the third. Trying for the miracle comeback to split on the road. And an offensive foul. That's going to be it for KD. Lou Williams stops in the mid-post, fades and hits. Out to Shamet for 3. It's good! The Los Angeles Clippers with the biggest comeback in NBA playoff history.
But the guy's the most skilled basketball player on planet Earth. He needs to be more aggressive. I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am. Y'all know who I am.
Many feel this could be a monster night for Kevin Durant. Turnaround for KD. There's no defense in the world to stop that shot. Durant rises up over Beverly. Too easy for him. Look at that finish by Kevin Durant.
I've been here for 12 years and I'm 30. I don't need to show nobody nothing at this point. I just play.
Y'all know who I am. Time to take a look at our Modelo Gold Standard stats. So KD not himself in the first 2 of the series. He averaged 12 shots a game, only took 3 threes. But game 3 was different. 38 points, 61% shooting, and matched his almost assist total from the first 2 games. Those are the numbers. But Stan, can you tell us exactly, specifically, what has he done to adjust?
It's no adjustment. It's just, does he want to score or not? I mean, there's nobody that can keep this guy from getting shots. There's nobody that can limit this guy except himself. And it's been a weird thing with Kevin Durant on why he hasn't. As we look at a little bit of film, here's game 2. He catches at the elbow. If you look at all the space he's got there on a small guy, he can either just turn and shoot it over him, take it into the free throw line and shoot. But he's looking past all the way, puts Clay in sort of a tough spot. He shoots it off the backboard. Now we see here game 2, he catches it. Same spot almost. He gets the same amount of space almost. And this time he's just going to decide to attack, get to his spot, and shoot the ball. There's nothing anybody can do against this. That's great defense. There's nothing they can do. It's the same thing here with chances to attack. He's got the whole side of the floor right here. He chooses to do nothing here and ends up making a pass to a guy who's not even open on a turnover. He just decides in game 2, I'm going to give it up. Now in game 3, again, against good defense, he sees space. He just decides he's going to get to his spot and rise up and shoot it. There is no one who can stop Kevin Durant except Kevin Durant.
Which is probably frustrating at times for Warriors fans. But as a scorer, why the different versions? Why the different strategies?
The adjustment he made was an attitude adjustment. it's nothing about his game. I mean, when you look at Kevin Durant, he takes less than 10 shots when he's one of the most unguardable players on the planet. It's all up to him, night in and night out. I mean, it's not a play call he can ask for. It's not say, coach, get me the ball. Everything is up to him. If he decides he wants to go out there and be aggressive, take 20, 25 shots, go for 40, he can do that every single night. But that's stuff that comes from within.
I think not having Boogie was a mental adjustment that he knows he has to be more aggressive. And also, we've seen Doc Rivers and the Clippers actually play a smaller guy on him in the past when they did it with Chris Paul. So he had to just figure out what they were doing. And the coaching staff did a terrific job of getting him in actions where Bogut can be a screener. He can do a couple of catch and shoots. And that helped get his confidence going.
This has obviously been a season where everyone's talked a lot more about the Warriors, and it hasn't always been positive. So to have a team like the Clippers in the first round, they're feisty. They do not take this. They don't see the Warriors as an easy loss. How much is that for them as a test as we move forward in this thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's been good in that they've had to play. I think that part is good. But this Warriors team, I mean, even Game 2, giving up a 31-point lead, the fact that they haven't been dominant at home, no NBA champion has ever lost more than 2 home games by 20 or more during the year. The Warriors this year, 6 times. And then they give up the 31-point blowout. There's just some things happening to the Warriors that don't happen to championship teams. That's why I have felt they were vulnerable all year. And my man Paul Pierce jumped on that bandwagon the other day. Yes, he did.
No, they're a little vulnerable, only because they don't have Boogie Cousins. But I think they really looked at the next game like, look, we have a sense of urgency now because it's easy to get complacent. If I go in the locker room and I'm Katie or I'm Steph, I'm looking like, man, I look over, there's DeMarcus, there's Clay, you know, there's Steph. You know, I can lean back a little bit. I don't have to come out and have the pressure on me, come out here to get 30 every night, so they can get a little complacent. When Boogie went down, I think they felt that urgency, and they're like, look, it's time for us to step up.
But Boogie,
we don't have that extra, but we don't have that extra luxury of another star out there again. So now they're like, okay, we can go back to being who we really are, to where, look, we play with urgency every night. And I think you're going to see that from the Warriors for the rest of the playoffs.
You know this, P, as a Finals MVP. What they're also seeing is Houston not playing around. Okay, they taking care of business in their series against Utah. And you don't want to play any extra games if you're the Golden State Warriors. So you get up 30 and you lose a game. Now there has to be a sense of urgency to close out this series.
They also saw that Harden didn't have to have a great game, and they still managed to win last night. That's a little bit scary. Game 3, it's not Kyrie, wasn't Tatum that led the Celtics in scoring. It was that man, Jalen Brown, who looked more like the 2018 postseason version of himself, chilling right now, looking for a sweep. And the Clippers have been underdogs all season long. Nothing changing in these playoffs. Sam Alapur getting some insight from Danilo Gallinari next.
I'm sure the Clippers would appreciate you practicing on your day off.
Yes, why not?
Here we go.
You ready?
Yeah.
There you go. We got it.
Tyreke Evans, 0-7 in playoff games, looking for his first ever postseason win and also trying to avoid heading to an early vacation. Now, having traded Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, the Clippers weren't supposed to compete this year. Well, they competed. When they traded one of their best players, Tobias Harris, in February, they were supposed to be done. They kept going. Down 31 points in Game 2 against the Warriors. Well, probably shouldn't have surprised us that the Clippers rose up and won. Now down 2-1 to the champs, they're up against it again. How are the underdogs approaching their latest mountain to climb? Veteran Danilo Gallinari explained it to our Sam Alapur.
So, Gallo, thanks for making time during the playoffs. You do need to refuel, though, so how about an Italian lunch in the other Venice?
Thank you for inviting me. I'm ready. I can't wait.
We have some time before our food gets here. You want to help practice your jumper?
Why not? I don't know if the basket is big enough.
All right, let's try it.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that basket right there. And
I do have a big mouth, they said.
Big enough.
Here we go.
You ready?
Yeah.
We got it.
Hey, cheers.
Salute.
Salute.
Cheers.
The Los Angeles Clippers with the biggest comeback in NBA playoff history.
Give me some Italian lessons. We all know what happened in Game 2. How do you say epic comeback?
Rimonta.
Rimonta.
Incredibile.
Incredibile. How do you say David and Goliath?
Davide e Golia.
Are you guys cool with being the David to their Goliath? Do you embrace that? Warriors.
Honestly, we have been like that in the eyes of everybody since the beginning of the season. We knew we were a good team, so we knew we were better than what everybody else said. We have a great chemistry going on. We have a great coach. I mean, you put all these things together, you're going to make the playoffs. I've been saying it to everybody. If nobody saw in the playoff, that means that a lot of people are stupid or they don't understand anything about basketball.
I'm one of those stupid people, by the way.
I'm sorry for you.
What will it take to notch 3 more?
We need to play better than what we're doing right now. We keep going down by 20, 25, or 30 every game against them. We play in stretches, ups and downs. Like, you cannot do that in a playoff, and you definitely cannot do that against them.
Paint this picture for me, okay? Let's pretend the Clippers are a pizza. Who's the secret sauce?
When I talk about leaders, I talk about Patrick.
Who's the garlic? Who, like, packs a punch, but, you know, a lot of people don't like it?
Definitely Patrick.
Beverly nearly lost it against Durant. And both have been tossed.
He's definitely the first thing that you taste about this team.
Who's the mushrooms?
That's tough, but thinking about the starters, I would say Shea is the mushroom guy.
Dude, mushrooms are the best pizza topping, are they not?
That's why it's a great topping to us. What is this?
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Oh, this is the money that we need to pay for
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Okay, so, no, you go Dutch on the first one, right? Like, what are you doing, Sam? That is so tacky. Okay, no dinners involved. Hope Chauncey's watching, by the way.
Oh,
but
like what
who
you did.
do you have in our late game Warriors-Clippers game 4? Pick them.
I got Warriors by 12.
Oh, wow.
Warriors by 15.
I have a TV trick I want to teach everyone.
Oh, I like this.
There's a reason why we were interviewing Danilo Gallinari, because their season is about to be over.
Oh, that's...
Right.
Okay? They will not win another game in this series.
Okay.
I'm going Warriors by 10.
By 10. Double digits for everyone. You don't even think that they're at home, there's going to be some sort of pride, there's fight. God, okay.
It's a lot of pride.
I think they have a lot of pride and they'll fight hard.
be
They're
close.
just not as good.
Yeah, they're not as talented.
Well, maybe I'm just a more optimistic person. Sports Center, after Sunday Night Baseball. Kenny Mays, Steve Levy are going to chat with star of the Braves, Indians game plus Legler, breaking down game 4 that we're going to have. And SC featured spotlights. Philip Lindsay's journey as the first undrafted rookie free agent to make the Pro Bowl. Sports Center after Braves Indians on ESPN and the app. We are moments away from Kyrie Irving and the Celtics. They're looking for that sweep, Jalen. Kobe breaks things down in his latest edition of...
You actually bet Chauncey the Lakers weren't making the playoffs.
On this episode of Detail, we'll take a look at Kyrie Irving. These are tough situations. As a guard, you never want to get buried under the basket here. Boom. See, now he's buried here, and that makes transition defense very, very tough. Very, very tough. You never want to get buried. As a guard, you want to hang around these areas, these elbow areas. That's where the ball tends to bounce. Let the bigs go down there and muck it up, and the ball bounce in those elbows, and you're good. And you also have good defensive balance. I tell you what, the game's changed a lot. You pushing the ball here in transition, man. Instead of attacking this guy, you pull the ball out for a 3. I mean, I did this when I first came in the league, man. My coach would have benched my ass so fast. For more analysis, go to Detail on ESPN+.